Welcome to the Camaro Show.
A podcast about all things Camaro and GM performance news.
I'm Chris Frezza.
And I'm Jason Debler.
We're your hosts for this week's episode of the Camaro Show. Oh, you okay, man?
Yeah. Good thing I was buckled in.
Yeah. Well,
Crazy driver.
We're not in the studio this week.
Yeah, we're out doing some car stuff or something.
But we thought we'd bring to you one of our favorite episodes as kind of a best of show.
Yeah, we're gonna do this every now and then when we have to, and also just to kind of have some retrospect on some cool things that happened in previous podcast
Absolutely.
episodes.
So we'll be back live next week.
Yep, we'll see you then.
Yeah. Episode number 6, 2016 Camaro is released. Welcome to the Camaro Show.
A podcast about all things Camaro and GM performance news.
I'm Chris Frezza.
And I'm Jason Debler.
We're your hosts for this week's episode of the Camaro Show. Want to be part of our show? It's easy.
Just leave a message on our voicemail hotline at 586-486-3182.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome back, everyone, for another awesome episode.
Oh, man, this is it. This is the good one. This is the one we've been waiting for who knows how long.
The 2016 Camaro was unveiled this weekend.
And what an experience it was.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, God. We're gonna spend this entire episode talking about all the experience with the 2016 Camaro, the events surrounding it, our drive of the 2016 Camaro.
And where you can see first-person GoPro head mount, forehead mount video footage and all that.
We also have an interview with Chief Engineer Al Oppenheiser of the Camaro team, giving us some information about some of the new power plants in the 2016 Camaro and some other awesome news.
Plus, whatever else we can cram in the next, 20, 25 minutes or so.
Oh, boy.
So we got to start with, it's out. It's released officially.
Yeah.
Before that. And we called it in the last week's episode that there would be somebody that was going to leak it early.
Let's call him out.
CNBC.
A-hole.
Yeah, who's going to be the a-hole that's going to do that?
Oh, yeah, I called him out on Twitter, and I had a whole bunch of people retweet it. And I just hashtag apologize. I know it could be a mistake.
Yeah.
I just wish they would come out and just say, we're sorry.
Yeah.
We're sorry we did it.
We pushed the wrong button. Heck, usually once a month I'll push the wrong button here on the podcast when I do the oops, wait, see? Yeah, just like that.
Yeah.
So, but, the thing is that it just like before, it didn't look a fraction as good as what it really did in person.
Right.
And the unveil... Well, I guess we should start Saturday morning.
Yeah, Saturday morning. Well, you got there. What time did you get there?
I got there, I think, 7:30 or so.
Okay. I was there around 8 o'clock in line with all the Camaros to do the parade lap around the Grand Prix track on Belle Isle. And between the rain showers, we got a pretty good parade lap in, and I got that on GoPro.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we were also live meerkatting.
Yeah.
The lap, too. So those of you who are also watching via Meerkat right now got to see that lap. Then we went to the huge Camaro Corral.
Oh, it was massive.
I want to say, I don't know what the final count was, but when we checked in the morning, it was around 352 cars.
Right. And it was awesome. Incredible cars there. There was Z28 sitting there amongst first gen. Tom Peters' Copo was there. Just cars getting their keys locked inside. I'm talking about you, Jim Piper.
Yeah.
And thanks to our friend Tom Grizz for helping him get his keys back out.
And the fence.
And the fence.
Piece of fence. Yeah.
Piece of fence that wasn't indeed in the trash because I saw it beforehand. I just didn't think of it. But just incredible cars from top to bottom. And then the museum, which was very reminiscent of a big Camaro Legends tour.
Yeah.
With all those cars, Grumpy's toy, that famous race car Camaro, the Ivor car, both concepts, the coupe and convertible for 5th gen.
I noticed a lot of the cars there were pulled out of the Heritage Center.
Yep.
And some others were donated by Rick Hendrick for the museum. Yep. So that was an awesome display there.
Yeah.
And then the tent next to it, they had the current lineup of Chevrolet vehicles.
Mm-hmm. It was
all the way from your Traverse to your Volt, the brand new 2016 Volt. trucks. Got to see our buddy Fitzy.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Fitz.
Congratulations, Fitzy, on your new job.
Yeah, starting
Soon he's going to be the new Detroit zone manager.
Zone manager, right.
Yeah, he's moving from Silverado. So, yeah, best of luck to Fitzy. Always a friend of this show.
Absolutely. I don't know if we'll come up with a lot of truck questions, but well, I guess it doesn't matter now. It's not just truck regional. It's all sale dealer areas.
Dealer, Detroit,
right.
Southeastern Michigan dealers. Yep.
Very cool. Very cool.
And then next to that, they had ride and drive.
Yes.
So you could do a ride and drive with a regular Chevrolet, and then on the other side of that, you can get thrashed around the Grand Prix track in a Z28 driven by some of the professional drivers from Spring Mountain.
Good group of guys. They must have been just exhausted by the end of that day.
And for those of you who got to drive, you got a video of it too.
Did you get a video of yours?
I didn't do the drive.
Oh, you didn't?
No. Just I've driven the car before. The line was too long.
Yeah, it was. My buddy Steve was there. And he was in the line. He said about an hour and 15 minutes for a 1.5 minute ride.
Yeah.
Which is just like Cedar Point, or Disney World.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
By the end of the day, there was no line whatsoever.
Yeah.
You could have just walked up and just rode it. And I was gonna, but I had some other things I had to attend to, and I had to leave a little bit early.
Yeah, but the day was quite long, and I don't know. I wish it could have been unveiled a little bit sooner.
Yeah,
just because we were there so early.
I agree. It was a long day, very long day,
especially with the rain. We had to keep sneaking away in tents because of the rain.
Yep.
And then the sun came out and it got really super hot in the afternoon.
Really humid.
But they fed us.
Oh yeah, they fed us well.
We had breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh yeah, dinner too?
Yeah,
did not know that. Very cool.
Andiamos.
What else did they have? They had a Bose tent, so they would do a Bose sound.
Oh yeah, demonstration there
because the Bose is powering the new Camaro audio system. They had, of course, our friends at Chevrolet Performance.
Yep.
There with all the Z28 1LE parts and crate engines and the whole 9 yards, and above all, a lot of great friends that we only get to see at these events.
I wish I could name them all. I mean, Tim DeYoung was there, and Jason Port came in from California for the event, and then Brandon and Kendall came in from New York 5th Gen.
It was great to see my friends.
Our good buddy John from Bucks County, Pennsylvania, with his buddy. I want to say he wanted to be called White Sexy.
What?
Big White Sexy or something like that.
Is that? Oh,
he was a good guy, man. We talked beer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ed
and Lisa Kleehammer.
Ed, can't forget Ed.
Our friend Tom Grizz. And just a whole bunch of other folks.
All the disciples that came in.
All except for two. Two couldn't make it. Yeah.
I was missing Selena.
Yep. And also
who else didn't come in?
Art Schroeder couldn't make it as
well.
well. So other things came up that just prevented him from being there, and this is very likely our last our last disciple meeting because they really they got the base down. They're into this next generation. They really don't need us anymore. Yeah. Well, I understand that we'll get a homework assignment every now and then, but it was
for the most part you've done your duty.
Super proud moment for me. Totally honored to be part of that, and I wish everybody could do it.
Yeah.
I
hope I'm not missing it. There's so many people.
Oh, Ed Hamburger from SVE.
Of course.
Where he brought his Yanko.
You mean Dave Hamburger.
What did I say? Did I say Ed? Ed was actually, okay, yeah, Dave, our buddy Dave, but Ed was supposed to be there, but I don't think he couldn't make it for some reason. Kristen Lingenfelder ran into her. Ken couldn't be there. He had to be at a different event, but it's nice that they can divide and conquer.
Right.
Always wonderful seeing them.
Lots of people came up and so they listened to the podcast, and we do a good job. So,
wonderful.
Happy to meet people.
Yeah.
Kendall said you owe him something. He said he came up to you and you didn't have anything.
Andy McCall as well.
Oh, really?
Yes. But fortunately, there's only a couple people. I promised
Katie, yes.
Andy and Katie. I promised that if you came up and said, "Hey, I listened to the show," I'd give you a little itty bitty little piece of swag, and I forgot them. And I tell you what, I was about ready to turn around and drive all the way home to get them too. Yeah. But I'm like, okay, well, maybe only a couple people will ask, and sure enough, it was just a couple people. But Andy and Katie and Kendall, by all means, just hit me up with your address. I'm sure I have it, but just send it to me again, and I'll be sure to get your little trinket out, and maybe some other cool swag just for your trouble.
And a special thanks to Kara, who supplied me with some Texas craft beer.
She gave me this big old bottle of something.
Does it got the wax seal on it?
No, it's a giant bottle of beer, and I forgot what it was. It's on my kitchen table.
Okay.
You'll see it when you come over. It's a sour beer. And so I gotta get used to those. But and I said, I wish I would have known. I would have brought you something. And she said, oh, Chris gave me a 6-pack of Hop Slam, and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm covered then.
Yeah, it's too many people to list. I wish we could name them all, but
yeah.
you know.
Thank you all. It was great seeing everybody again. It really was. Some folks I'm just so happy to see.
Yeah.
Because I only get to see them once in a while.
Yeah. So like at around 3:30 they started lining up outside of the tent.
Yes.
And the line was immense. And
it moved fast.
It moved fast, and like I said, everything was well organized.
Yeah, I agree. There was enough. There was only so many people there, and there was enough room to get a good view of it, no matter where you were at. So
they shuffled us all in this tent, and we sat there while they were showing images on the screen, and we were waiting for the show to start.
Yeah,
and
then we saw on the screen our Camaro show.
The Camaro show showed up, yeah,
and I'm like, holy crap!
Yeah, everybody got to see the Camaro show on the image.
They were pulling all the Twitter and Instagram feeds, or just
anything that was hashtag Camaro 6, which I do all the time.
Yep. And then of course your son Vito, standing next to his 5th gen Camaro. It's a kind of smaller version, but yeah.
Yep. And then Alan Beatty came out and gave a little talk and introduced Mark Royce, who unveiled the Camaro, and it was stunning.
Oh my gosh.
About 60 some of you people watched it live because I meerkatted the entire thing while we were there.
Yeah. And who knows how many watched it stream.
Yeah.
And speaking of that number, 60-something, wasn't there like 63, 68% of buyers that bought the 5th gen Camaro were new to Chevrolet?
Yes, actually, I wrote that down this morning.
I thought that was really huge. Like, a huge number. I'm surprised that many people, that's their first Chevrolet.
Yeah. I wrote that down in my notes from this morning.
It was something like that.
63% of retail buyers were conquests.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So that would explain why there was just that influx of newness, that wasn't a carryover from previous generations. I mean, now we've gone through ownership of 4 generations. Well, I have 4 generations, actually 5.
Yeah.
6. I or my dad have owned every generation except the 6th, of course.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
And that'll be eventual, anyways.
Oh yeah, you know it.
Everything's eventual.
We're gonna get one, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna get one
eventually. Yeah.
Yeah. Me definitely.
Yeah.
It looks awesome. It came out, and it looked so much better than I thought it would.
Yeah, the presentation was wonderful. They did the all the videos, and they had a display of the assembly line of them putting together the Gen 6 car, and then all of a sudden it just rolled. There was 3 cars that came out. It was a blue one, a gray one, and then the red one.
SS.
Yep, it was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
4-cylinder. 6-cylinder and 8-cylinder.
Yeah, let's give some specs here. The Gen 6 provides a faster, more nimble driving experience enabled by the all-new lighter architecture, which is the Alpha platform, and a broader powertrain range. 6 all-new powertrains combinations are offered, including a 2.0-liter turbo.
Notice how they never said 4-cylinder.
Right.
They just said 2.0-liter.
An all-new 3.6-liter V6 and the LT1 6.2-liter V8, which is SAE-certified at 455 horsepower, and 455 foot-pounds of torque for the most powerful Camaro SS ever. Even each engine is available with 6-speed manual or 8-speed automatic.
MagnaRide is optional.
MagnaRide is standard.
Standard
on
on SS. Isn't it optional on the other ones?
Don't know.
I might have missed it. I didn't scribble it down because I was holding my selfie stick about 6 feet in the air, getting great footage of the cars rolling out.
Yeah. To me personally, okay, the star of the show was the interior of the car.
I agree.
They took an all-new approach to the interior. It's completely redesigned. They used a higher quality material, and you can tell.
Yeah.
It's redesigned for a driver.
Driver-centric.
Yes. I was so excited about the interior.
Memory seats. That's a big deal.
Push-button start.
Yeah. Chris Lavoti in our very first disciple meeting, memory seats. And I believe our friend Jake Robb at SOB also wanted memory seats, so they're definitely there.
Yeah.
The HVAC controls.
Yeah.
The two in the center where the gauge cluster was, you know.
Yes.
I didn't know, but you adjust the temperature by turning the vents like you clock it.
It's like a giant knob.
Yeah, and it felt really, like I don't know what the word is, like very serious about it. It's not just like a little knob you just turn up and down.
Right.
You got to rotate it.
Yeah.
You know, and it clicked. And the clicks were nice. The quality, the screen, the display, the digital display with the G meter, and and the lighting. Holy crap!
The lighting that they're going to have on this car, obviously, like I was telling, who was I telling? Was it Al or Monty? They obviously went to lots of Camaro shows.
Yep.
Because I can picture in my mind the last time we were at Camaro Fest.
Yeah.
The parking lot lit up like a Christmas tree.
Mm-hmm. So they added this show mode, which I personally don't have much of a use for, but they definitely took it from. Man, it's just so neat.
Yeah.
Was it like 7 different ways to connect to different things with the audio system by Bose, and
the audio system, the exhaust.
Oh,
the driver's
here's something that's really important. Kevin Kolvenbach.
Yeah.
I hope I said that right. I've known him for years.
Yeah.
He's 6'2", and he sat in the passenger seat, and he slid the seat all the way back as far as it could, and he could stretch his legs out to where they didn't touch his feet didn't touch the firewall. Yeah. Tall people will fit in this car.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You won't have any back seat at that point because the front seat was against the back seat.
Wow.
But he had plenty of room, at least in the passenger. I don't know what the driver is, but I would assume it'd be the same.
Here's some performance key points. Vehicle mass has been reduced by 200 pounds or more, depending on the model, creating a more nimble and responsive driving experience. This will be the most efficient Camaro ever, with the 2.0-liter turbo SAE-certified 275 horsepower and 295 foot-pounds of torque, and delivers more than 30 miles per gallon on the highway. And 0 to 60 times, well under 6 seconds, they say.
That's great.
Efficient performance in the new 3.6-liter V6, which has a direct injection, continuously variable valve timing, for the first time active fuel management, which is cylinder deactivation, offering a SAE-certified 335 horsepower, 284 foot-pounds of torque. Now, did you notice that the V6 is making less torque than the 4-cylinder turbo?
I did notice that. I wasn't sure how to present that.
Yep. And the most powerful Camaro SS ever, with the 6.2-liter LT1 direct injected small block V8 rated at 455 horsepower and 455 foot-pounds of torque. MagneRide Control Active Suspension is available on Camaro SS for the very first time. With improved handling and performance, the Camaro SS delivers better lap times than the 5th-generation track-focused 1LE package.
Man, and I got a soft spot for that 1LE. No 1LE this time. Not
no
yet.
ZL1 this time either.
ZL1, no
Z28.
And of course, I prodded them, and they just looked at me like, you know better than to ask these questions. So. Speaking of prodding with questions, this morning, Sunday that is, you had a spectacular interview with none other than our friend Al Oppenheiser.
Yes.
And should we roll that now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
All right, I am standing here with the man himself, Chief Engineer Al Oppenheiser, in Belle Isle, Detroit, Michigan. And it's been a spectacular unveiling of the 2016. Al, thanks for what you're doing here, man. You know, they've got a guy here in Detroit called the Magic Man. Pavel Datsyuk for the Detroit Red Wings.
Don't compare me to Pavel. He is the Magic Man.
You are the Magic Man of Camaro. So I got to say congratulations. And can you tell our listeners just about the new power plants and the 2016 Camaro in general here?
Sure. As you said, this has been a great weekend to reveal the car in our hometown, Motor City, Belle Isle. It's been awesome. So obviously the big news is that we're, for the first time, putting a turbocharged engine in a Camaro. Although not a first time we're putting a 4-cylinder in a Camaro, but we're not going to talk about that. It's a no excuses 2-liter turbo, and I know what some of your podcast listeners are going to say. I heard on the internet that you said, as long as I'm chief, we're never going to do a 4-cylinder in a Camaro. That was a misquote. I never said that. It was a misquote from another article. But I will say that probably my age and DNA would have a hard time maybe processing a 4-cylinder working with a Camaro. However, I have spent so many hours with my team that's developed this. It's an awesome car, awesome engine, and I think will be it will be the sleeper star of the new 6 gens. I think we got a great customer base that grew up with Transformer and Bumblebee.
Yeah,
that all have turbocharged 4-cylinder engines. In fact, we've read on the blogs there are actually people that won't buy our car because we don't have a turbocharged 4-cylinder. So for those people, here you go.
Yeah.
We'll take your order. But at 275 horsepower, it is no slouch. It's not a no excuses 4-cylinder. It comes with the 1LT or 2LT trim levels. So unlike our counterparts about 45 minutes west of here, we don't force you into a 4-cylinder engine if you want the up-level options.
Okay. You
can, whether you choose a 4, a 6, or an 8, you can content this 1LT, 2LT for the 4 and the 6. And then, of course, the SS has its options as well. So that's the 4-cylinder. I think that's in my opinion, the big news from a power plant standpoint.
Yes, definitely.
And then, of course, we have an all-new V6. It's a 3.6 liter direct injected variable valve timing engine that has, for the first time for us, active fuel management. So we're taking the technology a level higher. For those times when you're driving, you don't need all 6. It'll shut down seamlessly to 4 and give you better fuel economy than the 5th generation.
And these are the cars that we're testing here today.
Absolutely. We really wanted to sell this car on one big thing, and that was, when you look at a picture of it, people are going to speculate, it doesn't look too much different, and so on. So yeah, our strategy today was to get you all in that awesome 5th gen V6. It's been tried and true. It's been our largest volume seller over the years. Calibrate you there, and then get you into the 6th gen, which is off the Alpha architecture. So V6 Auto to V6 Auto is about a 300-pound difference. I know our media things say 200 plus, but it depends on which model it is. The V8's over 200 pounds lighter. The V6 is nearly 300 pounds lighter than the 5th gen.
And I can tell you firsthand, you can feel that within the first 100 feet of driving the car.
And that was our goal. Get you calibrated in your 5th generation, get you to hop in the V6 of the 6th generation, and we had all hoped that you would get out of the car after the first turn saying, wow, because that's the way to have you understand and explain in your words what we did to the 6th generation.
Absolutely, yeah. These are beautiful cars. Now, when you go from a base Camaro 4-cylinder turbo to a V6, I mean, are you going to get, like crappier brakes, crappier tires?
Not at all. All the models of the Camaro have brake packages that are good for whether you're doing a media run here at Belle Isle, all the way up to our awesome system on the V8s that'll take you through MRC, VIR, wherever. Yeah, no compromise on the brakes. No compromise on V6 and V8. Get that dual mode exhaust, and we've gone to the electronic valves. So I think here's another really cool thing about 6th gen is we do listen to our customers, and I know you know that, but the personalization is so cool with this car. So let's say you buy your V8. So you buy your V8, right? Yeah. And you get in, and you like tour mode, and you buy the active exhaust, the dual mode exhaust, and you're in tour mode. You like that setting with the steering and the throttle progression. Even the interior lighting package in tour is nice blue. Maybe today I'm feeling like a green day. So you go into tour mode, you can go in and customize all the lighting to green.
That is incredible.
And oh, by the way, you want to have tour mode exhaust, or I should say track mode exhaust.
Sure.
So you go into the customization screen, say, I like tour mode, but I want to change the exhaust note so the valves are open all the time. So you can tour around the tour mode with track exhaust. So, and another cool thing is with the 6th generation, it will latch over. So when you key up next time, it's still there, which is something we didn't have in the 5th generation. You do your sport and track setting, you key up again, you're back in tour. So our ability to latch over in the mode that you left is more beneficial to the customization of the 6th gen.
And then the interior pieces that you're using right now, you can tell just by sitting in it and touching, and just even the placement of things. Oh my gosh. I mean, the interior I thought was the star of the show. I heard people, when they showed the interior, they said, I heard one guy go, oh my God, they listened to us.
Absolutely. And we've been listening to you for 6 years.
So let's talk about the SS.
Okay, let's talk about the SS.
We got a 455 horsepower, 455 foot-pounds of torque.
Yes, we do.
Beautiful looking vehicle. Now, so this is going to be almost, well, I guess, equivalent to the 1LE 5th gen, but actually exceeding the 1LE 5th gen.
Yeah, so if you think about it, you're taking a car, you're getting a lightweight, structurally efficient architecture from the Alpha program. Take 200 pounds out of it, or over 200 pounds out of it. You add more horsepower. And so it makes a lot of sense now that we're actually in our development phase here, turning faster lap times than a 1LE.
That's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
So I'm not going to talk about anything in the future, but if your SS is faster than your current 1LE, I'll let you finish that sentence.
Nice. So
every model that we're introducing here this weekend is faster than the model it replaces.
That is incredible. It's been a fantastic show. Hats off to General Motors for putting on such an incredible event for all the enthusiasts that were able to come into town. There was tons of people here yesterday. Tons of people. Everything was well organized. Everybody was able to do a lap around the track in the morning. It's just incredible.
Oh yeah, we had the eye candy. We had the Camaro Museum. You know, everything from I know some of your folks that attend the F-Body show in June. We had the car that I brought from the proving grounds with smoked out glass. We have that here.
Yep.
The 67001, that unbelievably beautiful very, very first car. So it's cool to have the original.
Yeah. That's a cool story
original
too.
car here. We had the several race cars, the concept cars. I mean, it's just, that's the eye candy stuff, and it attracted all of us as well. We kind of snuck off and spent some time in there. Gave everybody a little bit of thrills with the Z28s on the track with the Spring Mountain boys. And, of course, like you said, it was just a great event. Everybody was so positive. Nobody had any negative things to say about, there's not enough food, there's not enough people here to talk to.
Oh, no.
It was awesome.
It was wonderful. Can you tell me how long you guys been working on this car? Because we kind of figured in the background. I mean, you guys are, you're pumping out a surprise Z28, and probably in the background producing another generation car.
So now you know why I have red eyes and gray hair. Yeah, we never sleep. Seriously, we started working on the 6th generation in its inception about a year into the 5th gen, believe it or not.
Wow.
So all those times we spent together, Chris, all the shows we've been to, all the long leads, in the background we were working on this car. It's just how it goes.
Yeah.
And we knew, obviously, from the initial impressions of the 5th gen, that right or wrong, mass was a big label for us. So for all this time, we knew that when you saw this car today, that would go right out the window, right? Lighter cars. The second thing was one of the things that wins from a performance standpoint is track width. We've been superior to Mustang with our track width. Helps us beat them in every one of our 5th gen models with anything they can put on the road. We wanted that in the 6th gen. So the Alpha architecture wasn't quite where we wanted it with track width. So we kind of expanded the bandwidth of the architecture and got the track width nearly the same as the 5th gen. In millimeters, the 5th gen is a 1620 millimeter track width, and the 5th gen, and the 6th gen ends up being just over 1600. So we're pretty darn close to the track width. So that just sets you up for, why are we turning better times than 1LE right now? I mean, all the things that we listen to the Camaro customers, we listen to the media impressions of the car, and I think we did a good job in the 5th gen of responding. Mm-hmm. But I really think, And we were so happy and proud to show this car this weekend because this kind of sums up the fact that we did listen.
Yeah, it was incredible. Well, Al, I got to thank you for your time. Thanks for everything you're doing for the car. And thanks for listening to your customers.
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot. So that was Al.
Al's awesome. He's just a cool guy, man.
The magic man of Camaro. That's what I called him. I thought of that.
That's pretty good.
Because he's a hockey fan.
You know what they call me? Dr. Debler.
Dr. Debler?
You know why?
Why?
Because I was wearing my GoPro forehead mount. It looks like,
geez.
And it's funny because people have called me that over the years a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure why, so I just said I'm the horsepower doctor.
The horsepower doctor.
There's going to be a video of this out there, probably in the outtakes of the next Gears
Cool.
and Gears show. Al, thank you so much.
Yep. Al gave all the information about the power plants there. And that question I had to ask him at the end. When did you start, working on the 6th gen?
About a year after the 5th gen.
Oh, man.
Isn't that crazy? Well,
so that means that in a year they're going to be working on the 7th gen.
Wow.
I was going to say that. I was going to say that at the end. So
that's weird.
In another year, you'll be working on the 7th gen then, huh?
That's definitely weird to think about. Because all this, I'm exhausted. My forehead is all burnt from the sun, and
I got some sun yesterday. It's just been a whirlwind weekend.
Absolutely.
Sleep. I need sleep.
But before we forget, we gotta hear from you, our listeners, of what you think of the car, what you think of what you've seen, or if you were there in person and we didn't get a chance to see you, and just tell us what you think. Here's how. Hey, want to be part of this show?
Well, we want to hear from you.
Just hit our digits at 586-486-3182, 24 hours a day.
Leave us a message, and we'll feature it in an upcoming show.
So what are you waiting for? Do it now.
So that interview that I got with Al was at a media event this morning.
Yeah.
I showed up at the track, and there was an informational session from Mark Royce, and then we got to go drive some cars.
Mm-hmm.
We got to jump in a 5th generation V6 car first. They want us to do a comparison.
Yeah.
And then they put us in the 6th gen. And yes, I see why they did that. This is, I jumped in the 5th gen and I took it around the track, and it felt good.
Felt right.
It felt normal, like
Yep.
a regular 5th gen,
That's right.
comfortable driving. And then I jumped in. That was a manual car. Now the 6th gen I jumped into, the car happened to be an automatic.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, all I can say is the fit and finish of the interior is spectacular.
This is a pre-production car too,
right? They said it's generally what is going to be going into production.
Mm-hmm.
Some
minor
things maybe change, but for the most part, this is the car. I could tell immediately from launching the car from the first 100 feet, the weight reduction.
Yeah.
And when they say nimble, how did you put it?
I accidentally merged two words together, and I was talking to our friend Todd Christensen after the Ride and Drive, and I said it has much more nimbility. And he just looked at me funny. I said, use that in a commercial. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Nimbility.
It does. It feels like the car is just like they put in their press release, more athletic.
Yeah. And that dash, I can't get over that dash and the radio and the...
One thing I didn't notice, and someone brought it to my attention, I said, I didn't see the heads-up display. And someone said, oh, yeah, it was there. But someone had turned it all the way down.
Right. I did
in the car that I was
it.
testing.
Yep. I could just faintly see it in both cars, actually.
Really?
Because they had us disciples go right after media, and then they had to tear down for the Grand Prix, the Detroit Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It was one of the disciples who shall go remain nameless, and I don't think this was done on purpose, but chirped through third in the V6 car.
What I thought I didn't know how I would like it was the smaller steering wheel in the car.
I didn't notice.
Yeah, it's smaller, and it felt great. It really did. I noticed it when I was looking at the car when it was released yesterday, and able to get in and hold on to it and drive it, and we were going at a spirited pace.
Yeah,
they just said, just don't try and set any lap times.
They said the exact. You're not here to set records,
right?
Get a new personal best.
But I had a good time in it, and the car was responsive, and I think people are just going to eat this thing up.
Oh man, it looks.
I can't wait till the rest of our listeners here. I can't wait till they can get behind the wheel.
I know. Anything you were disappointed with?
Not really. I mean, there's just and I'm not going to nitpick. I don't like the placement of the badges on the car.
Definitely different. The side badges or the front and rear badges?
The front and rear.
The side badges are kind of nice and clean.
Yes. The front badges and the back badge, they're just I don't know how they chose that location.
I agree, but I don't think they could have put the SS badge on the back, or the RS for that matter.
Yeah.
Where it used to be.
That's piddly stuff.
What I thought was, it's not bad, it's just unexpected, is where the gas tank door is.
Oh, it's how it's up closer.
It's ahead of the rear wheel instead of over it or behind it.
Yeah.
And that's just, the design of it. It doesn't look bad. It just doesn't. I had to look twice at it, saying,
I forgot what I was gonna open up the gas tank.
I did.
Did you?
Got a picture of it.
Is it like the CTS where there's no cap? You just
That's
push it through?
right.
Nice.
Yep. Which was great for really easy to shove sugar cubes in there.
Crying out loud.
That's the first thing I thought of.
Of course you would think of that.
Does anybody even do that anymore?
Sugar in the gas. Nice. Yep. Good. Glad you got that picture.
I'm holding the picture. There's
cool.
That's Kevin Kolvenbach. He's
his
very, very comfortable.
Yeah.
Oh, and the light up sills. The thing is that that's going to be so easy to scuff. Did you also notice that there was a pass through in the fog light area, like the DRL area?
No.
Yeah, it actually passes through. You can see the picture that I've got, and we can post these. You can see the tire through it.
Nice.
So it's meant for aerodynamics.
Sure. Cool.
And then a nice picture of our friend Tom. We were goofing around. We went to Atwater and had a quick drink, and then we went to Bookies. I love going to Bookies.
Oh.
And had a nice dinner and a couple of drinks with Tom and his friend.
Nice.
Very cool. Very cool. Back to the car though.
So then,
again, the show.
You drove it in the afternoon.
Yep, I drove it in the afternoon.
What was your initial reaction? You drove the 5th gen first, right?
Yep, they made us. I said, I've driven enough 5th gens. And they're like, nope, we want you to compare. And I'm like,
Yep.
okay, I get it. It's like a taste test. You
Yep.
want to do the before and after.
Yeah.
So I recorded the whole thing with the GoPro stuck to my forehead in super wide, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Going around, we played Follow the Leader with the guys from Spring Mountain.
Yeah.
They were in Z28s. We were in the V6 5th gens. And great. Felt great, sounded great. I had the window down and getting close to the wall on the straightaways. You could really hear that V6, and it's a decent sounding V6 for what it's worth. And then,
because did you notice that some had and some didn't have the dual mode exhaust?
Oh, I did not.
Yep.
And so I don't know if I had it or not. I don't know.
If your car was, it almost sounded like a Ferrari.
Yep. Then I must have had it, almost like a slight valve whistle to it. Yeah,
that was the dual mode exhaust car.
Because I did the exact same thing in the 6th gen. I got in that. I was like, "Where's the e-brake? I got to turn off the e-brake." Couldn't find it, so I released the clutch and didn't dump it. So everything was fine. Did the same thing, got close to the wall, but yeah, it felt just it felt like you think it would.
Yeah,
it's been re-engineered and lightened, and it felt great. And that V6 sounds incredible. Some might flame me for this, but it sounds like a European V6, like a well-engineered BMW.
Okay. I can hear that. I can. I know what you're getting at.
The quality and power that they exude, if you will. It's there. It is.
I heard somebody else say they jumped in the car and they were like, "Holy cow! This doesn't look like a Camaro. It looks like a Buick in here. It's beautiful."
The one thing that some of the disciples, the couple, had just questions about was, why does the radio look like it's an iPad stuck there?
Yeah.
Why isn't it molded into the dash? And my thought was, everything looks like a kiosk these days. When you go to order your food or pay for your meal or anything at all, it looks like an iPad on a pedestal. So keep it that way. But it's also, I think, because it was a way to engineer that light pipe that goes over the top of it and everything. The car felt great. The brakes. Let's talk about the brakes.
Okay.
They all get the same brakes. There is no upgrade, downgrade.
Yeah.
You buy a Camaro, you get good brakes.
Yeah, you're not going to get crappy brakes on an LS car, and then get upgraded brakes on a LT or
and
whatever.
Have to do the swap.
It's all the same.
Yep. Are they Brembos? I didn't even look.
I didn't look. Yeah. The interior, they focused more on the driver's ergonomics.
Yeah.
Class exclusive ambient lighting and, of course, the round dials for the heat and cold.
Very well, good use of that space.
Yeah.
Oh, here's something else I noticed that I didn't see in the car, but I read about it shortly after, is knee pads for when you're doing aggressive driving, so you could brace your body, which is your body is a huge part of the racing experience. So some of experienced racers will know. Positioning your body and stabilizing your body helps maintain control of the car.
I was very excited to be able to put my left arm up by the window and not have to be like way up over my shoulder.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That was nice. That was real nice.
And did it feel cramped?
No.
Because it is smaller.
It's definitely smaller.
But it felt just as good. What did you think of the rear view? Did you think it any better or worse than the 5th gen?
I thought it was about the same.
Actually, I was talking to our friend Manny from what's that website?
GMauthority.com. Yeah, our good buddy Manny.
And I ran into him just as he was leaving, and I was coming in, and he overall pretty impressed with it. But he actually thought that it was the front visibility was 10% better, but the rear visibility was 10% worse.
Okay,
but that's
fair to say.
And I just realized something just now as we're sitting here. They didn't mention convertible, they didn't mention sunroof or anything.
No,
but the Ivor car that I was in was a sunroof version.
Oh.
I just realized because I was looking up and I could see the swirl marks, or not the swirl marks, the swirl camouflage through the sunroof. And it's in the GoPro video.
Cool.
Speaking of videos, where are we going to put them all?
Whoa.
Well, where can people see them in a day or two?
On YouTube? On our Gears and Beers show?
That's right, my friend. We're going to be doing a special 6th Gen Gears and Beers show.
Heck yeah.
To talk, to add a visual to what we're talking about. Oh man, there's so much to talk about too.
Yeah.
I think we're pretty much at our limit here for this episode.
Yeah. But we wanted to give our initial experience and being able to drive the car, seeing it unveiled. It was just, oh man, what an event.
It does the previous generation justice.
It does.
It is not one of those things that you can immediately go, oh, they took a step backward.
Yeah.
I think it looks great. Some people have said it looks like other cars, and it does take styling cues from other cars.
Yeah.
But you can also look at a 2nd Gen Camaro and see those styling cues as well.
I agree.
It's exactly what they said. It's evolutionary, not revolutionary.
Yeah.
It still looks like a Camaro.
Yeah.
I'm very happy.
They said, for the people who think, it looks just like a 5th gen,
No.
Stick this car next to a 5th gen and you will see the difference.
I was talking to Jim Campbell.
Okay, yeah.
I think it was Jim Campbell. Was Jim Campbell? Jim. Shoot, I'm getting the names mixed up. But and I was talking about the detail in the front end of it. Like the front end of the Camaro, you got your headlights and the big egg crate grill.
Yeah.
And then you have a round bumper on the front, and then 2 fog lights, and then another grill underneath it. If you look at the 6th generation Camaro, you can see where they sculpted different and multiple complicated angles of the front. And they did the same thing on the back, too, to give it more definition. Yeah. And if you just look straight at it, and you'll see that there is so much design work done to that.
I want to say also this car, I think they said spent over 200 hours in the wind tunnel.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, and the SS spoiler, it's kind of like the stanchion-style spoiler.
Yeah,
That's actually very important for that downforce that it needs. It's not just for looks. It is truly functional.
Everything on the car is functional.
Yeah, right
these
on.
days. I mean,
right on.
They put all that work into putting it into the wind tunnel just to make sure they have the aerodynamics down pat.
Even the what we call the reverse mohawk, but it's actually called a roof depression, is more pronounced, and it aids to the aerodynamics.
Yeah.
I just can't say enough great things about it. And mine's going to look great a little bit lower with some forged line wheels on it.
Some of the big questions people are asking, how much, when's it going to be available? They're saying it's going to cost about the same as the 5th gen. Mm-hmm. Available later this year, by the end of the year.
Yep.
They're not saying when production's going to start.
What's it matter? I don't know. I see that as irrelevant as long as we know
it's
when
going to be a
we can get it.
2016 car, so it'll probably come out mid 2016 or the model.
Yeah.
End of 2015 for 2016 model year.
We could go on for hours,
and
we will in future episodes. But we got to wrap it up for this one. A special thanks to everybody on the team, not just the Camaro team, but the team that put the event together.
Yeah.
Very well run.
Lots of thanks. Another special thanks, Scott Settlemeyer.
Mm-hmm.
He has always been the number one cheerleader for this car.
That's right.
For Camaro name. And I don't think this car would be around without him either.
I agree. Cheryl Pilcher, John Fitzpatrick, Al Oppenheiser. You know what? And our friend Todd Christensen, because he's actually, today is his official, if I heard him right, first day on the job.
Really?
Yeah, because Cheryl Pilcher is the unsung hero with the 6th gen. She's still product manager or vehicle, whatever the term is now.
Yeah.
Up until this point.
Wow.
Think about that.
Wow.
So now I said, so Todd, if we wanted to go out for beers and just chat, I said, those days are gone because you're going to be up all night working. He said, probably. But so he's going to do great. And so far he's off to a great start.
Yeah.
We got more to talk about. We'll have to hit you back next week. However, make sure you get your voicemails in and tell us what you think.
The voicemails we've got in this week, we're going to hold them for next week. We've also got some contest winners we're going to be announcing too.
Oh, yeah.
The big contest that we were holding, we're going to be announcing those. We'll hold off. We'll announce those next week because you got a couple more prize packs you're going to have to send out.
That's right.
But you got the other ones out, right?
I did get the other ones out, and I apologize to everybody for the delay on that.
Obviously, there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, there sure is. All right, I guess we need to get out of the studio and over to Debler's Bar for the next episode of the Gears and Beers Show.
All right, we'll see you then. Thanks for listening to The Camaro Show.
Don't forget, drop us a voicemail at 586-486-3182.
We'll see you next week. See ya.